Hi, I'm Michelle Dortznack, and this is the second of a series of mini video classes that we're doing, about 15 minutes long. However, within that 15 minutes, we're showing how to practice the yoga in real time. So I won't be editing out any holding of positions. We'll show you exactly how long we hold things. So you get a sense of what a real class is like. Okay, so I didn't really plan for today what I was going to do. I'm just going to start and go through what feels right to me in terms of warming the body up, and then what types of positions I'd like to do today. For me and for many people, yoga is really about deepening the breath and being able to not only breathe deeper, but last a little longer with the inhale and with the exhale. So I'm going to start out by doing a little bit of a warm-up for my spine and for my breath. So as I've extended my arms overhead, as you can see, and I'm just holding on to the fabric, I'm making sure that I don't sag my wrists and my thumbs down towards the floor, so I'm engaging the arms actively to keep the palms of the hands parallel to the ground. I could do it with holding on like this, or if I don't want to curl my fingers around, I can stretch through the hands and just make sure the palms are facing the floor in that way. Today I'm going to go ahead and hold on. So here I am, I'm letting the chest sink, and this is going to be my inhale. And then on the exhale, I'm going to curl the tail under and allow that movement of the pelvis coming upright to bring the rest of my spine upright. And then moving the pelvis again and coming forward with the chest for the inhale. And this just repeats these undulation of the spine. And I'll do that several times to warm up not only my breath, but also to warm up the back and my arms and my legs a little bit. So I'm not making a sound when I'm breathing, but I could, if I wanted to, practice what they call Ujjayi breath, which actually helps you slow your breath down even more because you're very slightly restricting the air passageway, and that's what creates the sound. So I'll go ahead and do that for you just to give you a sense, and maybe you'll be able to see the movement slow down as well since I'm matching the movement to the breath. And here we go. Whoops, except I start going backwards because I was talking. So I'm going to stay here as I inhale. Okay, so my back feels pretty warm and my wrists are getting a little tired. So I'm going to go ahead and shake the hands out a little bit. And I'm feeling ready to actually do a little stuff for backward bending. And you know, something I was working on yesterday was really intriguing me today, and I think it looks somewhat dynamic, so I think you're going to enjoy watching it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the hands from the back side of the hammock to where I'm standing and then wrap them around to the front so that my wrists are covered. And what that means is as I walk back and the hammock pulls on my arms, I don't even really have to hold on to the fabric with my grip. Now, I will hold on with my hands, but I don't have to have a very strong grip. So that's why I'm going to do this. Now, before I was doing undulations for the back, curving the spine this way and then this way to warm up. And I'm going to continue with this version, which is going to lead me into back bending. So I'm going to start, in this case, instead of starting from the pelvis and tipping me forward, I'm going to start from the head and go backwards. And holding onto the hammock so I don't have to worry about falling, basically. So here I go. Good. So that simple little exercise is something that you can start to get into full wheel pose if you know what that is, and if you don't, you'll know very soon. I'm going to go ahead and do that again, and this time what I'm going to do is as I'm letting my head drop back and allowing the weight of the head to really be heavy, I'm going to start to walk the feet forward because that will allow the hammock to go a little lower, meaning that it'll actually allow my upper body to sink a little lower towards the floor. So here we go with that. And to get out of it, I just walk backwards. So you want to notice the head is the last thing to come up and the first thing to go down. This is very heavy, our heads, and so I'm allowing that to help me relax into the position by simply letting the weight of the head go. Once I start to try and pick the head up or control it or prevent myself from really allowing myself to see the floor, then that's when I start to get in trouble. That's when I start to be overly active in my spine and it doesn't want to absorb and fall into the position of that big curvature. So this time, I'm going to go into this again. I'm going to walk forward and do that same thing again. But I'm going to only have one hand in the loop of the fabric. With the back of the hand sort of resting on the loop, you can curl your fingers around. And it's the same idea as when I had two hands in there. It's wrapped around the wrist. I don't really have to have a very strong grip. I even don't really have to hold on at all. If you can see, I can just spread my fingers out. I'm going to, but I just don't have to be very strong. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow me to have one hand free so that I can start to explore going into the wheel pose, having one hand come to the ground. So we'll start the same way. There we go. I'm going to do the other hand just to be balanced out for myself. Yeah, it actually feels really good. So one thing to notice is that in most yoga classes, we're not going to be getting into dropping back into wheel pose, maybe the first or second thing. unless you already happen to be contortionist level of flexibility. But what we need to remember is that with the positions that are not so comfortable for us, it's the resistance to the shape that can be painful, and it's not the shape itself. So this is why you don't ever want to force something too quickly. But also, this is why we work with the hammock to help us relax into positions. As you can see with this, just letting myself fall back, getting more and more comfortable, keep breathing, and then the spine unfolds pretty quickly. It allows itself to go into some of these shapes that can be very challenging. Okay, so there we go. That's my 15 minutes, essentially. What I'm going to do for myself to finish up is do a forward bend, relax my back the other direction, and then just have some time in neutral, which I don't think I need to show on the video for today. And maybe next time we'll see something like that. Okay, thank you very much.